Hey guys, I'm here at the public storage facility to both squirrel away another picture tube, and I want to get the chassis out of my other tandem set, both to use as a comparison while I worked on the really messed up one, and I want to recoat the flyback just in case my tube of silicone starts to dry out, because I've already opened it up. Here's the picture tube I'm going to put away. New old stock Silverama in the original box, never opened. Well, until I opened it anyways. It's another one that's compatible with the Predicta sets, except that the neck is too long. But this is the best one I've got, so I think it is the one that's going to go into this guy. Remember, this is one with the cut-off cable, and it's still got the original picture tube, which barely has any life left in it. So yeah, here's what I've been squirreling away. Hopefully this will never appear on an episode of Storage Wars. I don't think those knuckleheads would know what to make of this stuff. Oh, and here's one of my friend's bug-eye sets I mentioned in my last video. He dropped off 2 chassis, plus I've got this one intact set, and I think he might have 1 or 2 others. I ordered up enough parts to restore 2 of them. I figure we'll start there and see how it goes. Alright, so I'll find somewhere to stick that, and hopefully I brought all the tools I'll need that I can extract the chassis from this set. Success! Got the chassis out, so I'll take a quick look-see at it. It's been a few months since I got this set, and it's a little foggy in my mind, but yes. From what I had remembered, this was all original, and that does appear to be the case. So here's the K network I was just showing in an earlier video where there was a resistor jumpered across here. This does not have it. Also no signs of old repair, so I think I'll be using this as the benchmark for my other chassis. And hopefully before too long, both of them will be working. Alright, now I'll button this place back up and get out of here. Need to get a little more efficient with my storage as well. Most of these are picture tubes, and I can't pile them up too high, otherwise the weight starts crushing the boxes down. But I can definitely get a whole lot more in here. I've just been reluctant to move my TVs in here because I kind of figure once the set gets stored in here, it could be a very long time before it ever gets worked on. However, I did bring my Sentinel AM radio and phonograph, some test equipment, and a few sets. And I definitely got to bring a few more sets, especially some smaller sets. My other Motorola suitcase set, one of them's already here, the 8-inch version's already back there. And just to free up some space. In fact, you know, one of these days I just might get another 10x10 unit and just fill it entirely with console TVs and radios. The reason being is I do want to move, and my current time frame is by the end of next year, and the sooner I start getting stuff out of my place, the sooner it will be to move, because I really don't trust movers to just come into my place and start grabbing sets and throwing them onto a truck. Stuff's just too fragile for that. Alright, well, I'm going to get out of here and bring this back home and take a closer look at it. I'm back in the workshop now with that second tandem chassis, and I gotta say, boy, I know I examined this briefly earlier and did a video on it, but I didn't realize how all original this set actually is. For example, every single one of these tubes is Philco branded and may very well be the originals. Not a single repair that I can see. All the original caps, all the original resistors, all the original K networks. So here is the one that I just finished recapping. I still need to put the replica networks in it and replace these resistors I'd cobbled together with ones of the correct value now that I have them. And if you recall, I found a network in this one where it was not the right part number, and there had been a resistor soldered on externally to make it the right value. Well, this set does have the correct one. The 306519-1, whereas this set had a 306519-2, and they put in a resistor externally in parallel with the one internally to make it be the correct value. So, I don't know. Still don't know what might happen. I put my money on they ran out of 6519-1s in the factory and used -2s and did what they could to make it work right. Alright, so I'm going to continue doing my main focus on this one, but I want to take another closer look at this set, and also I want to coat this flyback. I was looking at the reference photos I had taken back when I first got this set, and this flyback, I think it's in the worst condition of all the Predictas I've got. So you can see the coating is completely gone in some sections here. It's just right down to the inner core. You can see all the chunks of it rattling around down there. I was wondering what that was when I was carrying this, so I could hear them rattling inside this box and I was carrying it back to my car. Oh, that's what it was. So I will carefully unmount this box. Basically, you just take out that 1/4-inch nut down there, and you can tip this up and then undo a couple metal bits down here that stick into slots cut into the box here, which will get it mostly off, but then you got an issue with this. It's the plate for the horizontal output tube. Okay, I see. So if you take this little piece of cover here of cardboard that has a slot cut in it and you bend it a bit, you should be able to take this cap off and slide it through this hole, completely remove this cover, and then I want to put some this RTV 190 or RTV 133 on it. I wrapped this with quite a bit of electrical tape over the tip, and I'm hoping that that prevented it from hardening up inside the tube. So I've got it here. I'll just take another quick peek underneath. If you go back in my videos, I did one on this set when I first got it. That was out in the back porch. I don't recall the lighting being all that great. I do recall, though, that this set has the same problems as, or the same problem, I should say, as the holiday set, where both the thermistor and fusistor are just gone, vaporized, fell apart, whatever. Still has the original multi-section filament dropper, though. Wonder if it's still good. And yeah, all the rest. I mean, bam, Philco, Philco, Philco. All the original parts, near as I can tell. Pretty cool. So maybe I'll try restuffing these as much as I can. Something like this, and this should be pretty easy. Bumblebee, as far as I know, there's no practical way to restuff these. They just crack and fall apart. And the cans I'll restuff, of course. And these guys, I've never tried doing one of these either. I think it's a white ceramic tube, and it seems to me you should be able to heat this up, and the insides, well, maybe will slide out really easy. Depends what they sealed them up with. Assuming that's just wax. Should just slide right out. Sure hope this power switch is good. Well, that's not a good sign. It's not clicking. Okay, maybe it is. Maybe I just had it at a bad angle. It's nice to get an intact pilot light too with the cover. Some of my other ones, the cover's damaged. I didn't realize this tube was quite so long. Looks like it extends out so it's flush right with this edge of the fine-tuning control here. That's to direct the light just behind the channel knob and not have it illuminate the rest of the set around it. Alright, so just makes me all the more PO'd that some person cut the cable going to the picture tube on this set. I've got both tandem chassis up on the workbench now so they can be compared side by side, and I'm finding some more subtle differences. Which makes me kind of curious to know when exactly were these two made and were they made at the same facility. For example, this is minor, but something I noticed right away is that here, white cap on top, black cap on the bottom. This set, it's the opposite. Also notice that this set also has a resistor across the contrast control, just like the holiday set is. It's not on the schematic, and I believe it was there to compensate for the contrast potentiometer not being the correct value. This set doesn't have it. Also some subtle differences in the way the wiring is run underneath the chassis. Otherwise, though, looks more or less the same. Well, certainly be interesting to work on them. We'll see which one performs better, too. So the other reason I want to get this out is not just to compare those circuit boards on top, but to compare underneath, because this one has clearly been worked on a lot of new caps down in here. Don't know if these are the right values, don't know if they were installed in the correct place. So I figure between the schematic and using this as a template, I should be able to get this set. Well, I was about to say working, but if you recall, the set was sort of working. Let's put that in quotes. The picture was pretty miserable, but it didn't turn on. We did get sound. We did get a picture of sorts. So I figure it can only get better as I make repairs to it. Here are the two flybacks side by side, and in spite of the coating flaking off this one, look how pristine it looks compared to this one, which has been recoated, but it's also considerably more dirty and kind of fried looking. Which again makes me think that this could be a very low hour set. You know, that with the flyback looking good and all the tubes seeming to be original. Look how clean that copper, I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if it's like some kind of heat sink or shielding or what that is, but it's like pristine, whereas this one's just nasty looking. So I don't know what the guy used to recoat this one, but I was about to say it's on there pretty good as I'm picking off a chunk of it, so maybe I best pop this cover off and examine it a little more closely. Don't want to mess with this too much though, because this set was producing high voltage. I don't want to break anything. But I can see a chunk of it down under there that's fallen off, so I suppose I better get in there. Something else I just noticed on this set. The one I just got out of storage. There's no rust on it. That's a nice treat. All my other Predicta chassis have at least some rust on them. Cool. One less thing to do. Well, from now on I'll try not to make things too confusing as I'm working on both of these. I'm going to focus on this one until it's working. I may be working on this one at the same time, but I'll try to minimize including that in any videos, and then I'll do a whole separate series on getting this set running.